delta merge and save point interval in HANA. So these are the internal process. The delta merge and save point are the internal process, internal mechanism, which means system internally it will run it. These mechanisms, this process, the jobs internally will be executed. No need any manual intervention. You no need to do anything here. Just only thing is, so just see whether delta merge is happening or not, save points are happening or not. So those things we need to check it out here, right? So here the delta merge. So before delta merge, normally the main memory, the each and every table, the main memory is divided into the two parts here. The main memory is divided into the two parts here. One is the delta storage and second one is the main storage here. Delta storage and main storage here. So which means DS and MS. The main memory is divided into the two types. So DS and MS, delta storage and main storage here. So DS. So DS means delta storage, MS means main storage here. So each and every table, the first of all the data calculations, everything, data calculations, loads, processing, SQLs, all will be executed in the delta storage. Okay, that will all the tables, data, queries, processing, execution. So all those things will happen in the delta storage itself only. But once the payment is done, once the transaction is committed, the committed data will move from delta storage to delta storage to main storage. When the data will be moved to the delta storage to main storage here, right? So if the transaction is committed, if the transaction is committed, so then data will move to the main delta storage to main storage here. Till then, once the transaction is not committed, then data will stay here itself only, delta storage only. Once the transaction is committed, then it will go to the committed data will go to the main storage. Why? Because the main storage operations are very costly. Why? Because here already the updated data, other tables data, all the data will resides here in the tables. Other committed data will be available here. Sir, why it is executing first delta storage, then after that why it is moving to the main storage here? If any transaction, if it directly execute in the main storage, what will happen? So we are here, we have already committed data already available. The previous completed transactions already available. If something goes wrong with this transaction, it will impact any one of the transactions as well. So to avoid or to disturb other like committed transactions, SAP, so there is a temporary storage area, delta storage, then all the transactions are executing in the delta storage. In the delta storage level, all your transactions are getting executed. So once this transaction is committed, so then committed data will move to the main storage. This procedure is called the delta merge, which means the delta storage data is merging with your main storage data once the transaction is committed. So right, once the transaction is committed, then so you will get the ticket, right? Ticket will be booked, right? So without you payment is done, you are not done the payment, you selected the seat in the bus ticket IRCTC, then you done the payment, then once the payment is done, the acknowledgement will pass to the your IRCTC site, then your ticket will be booked. but your payment is not done, payment is cancelled, then your ticket will not be booked, right? Same as like here, if the transaction is committed, committed means transaction is completed. In our database language, we will call it as the committed, commit. Once the transaction is committed, then data will move from DS to MS. This procedure is called the delta storage. This procedure is called the delta storage here. So the process of moving data from DS to MS is called the delta storage. Delta storage concept here, right? So once the data is available in the main storage, then there is a OS level file systems you have. OS level file systems you have here, right? That is called the /ana data, then /ana log folders at operating system level, OS level. This is the main memory. Then after 5 minutes, the committed data will come to the data folder level. The committed data will come to the data folder level here. Why? Because a transaction is committed. So that is the SQL data. That's the changes about the SQL data that is committed here. So that it will after 5 minutes, after 5 minutes, the save point will occur. Save point will occur, then data will move from main storage to your OS level data folder. OS level data folder. This procedure is called the, so this procedure is called the, so save point mechanism. This procedure is called the save point mechanism here. Save point, so mechanism here, right? So that is the, so that is the delta merge and save point interval. We can monitor this one. We can monitor this one here. So at operating system level, if you go to the, if the operating system level, if you go to in the operating system level, if you go to the your data folder level, suppose like if you take the, currently there is a OS upgrade, OS binaries are running. So OS upgrade is running. OS upgrade means OS libraries are updating here. So why? Because sometimes it will fix the some kind of slowness, crashing related things. So here, if you go to the operating system level, so then in the trace file in the index server, we can find out the save point interval. In the save point interval, we can find out. We can find out the save point interval. Connect to the ECQ ADM. ECQ ADM here. In the ECQ ADM, CD trace, right? CD DB underscore ECQ, the tenant. If you log into the tenant here, in the tenant, if you open the index server file, index server trace file, if you open the index server trace file here, so here we can observe the, maybe can tail or more. So here we can see the tail or more. Here we can see the save point related things here. So when was the last save point happened here, right? You can see here. So today, so 2137 is the one save point happened. Then 2142 is the one more save point happened. Save point version, right? So save point is happened. So 2142 and 37, 5 minutes gap, one more save point is happened. Then the next save point is the 5 minutes. 5 minutes means, so 47, right? 43, if you may 1 minute, maybe few seconds back only. So save point happened. Now, if you wait for some time, maybe In another 3 minutes, one more save point will happen. One more save point will happen here. So what is the save point means? Whatever the changes are happened in the main memory. Why? Because HANA responsibility is storing the data at main memory level. That's done. But sometimes what happens in case of any HANA restarts or so HANA crash, hardware failures, so anything is happened, so anything is happened, all the data will be gone. Whatever the data stores in the main memory, in the RAM memory, all the data gone. Why? Because RAM is the volatile memory. RAM is like a volatile memory here, which means it's a temporary memory only. So which means if the system is up and running, the data stores here. If the system is down, then all the data what is residing here, all the data will be deleted. So, but before deleting, there is a save points are happening, right? The save point will happen means whatever the data is there here, all the data will be moved to, will be copied to the data folder level. That's why we should not touch this data folders and log folder level file system folders. Why? Because whatever the data is there in the main memory, we have the secondary backup mechanisms called the data folder. If you delete this one, then when you restart the HANA system, what will happen? All the data will be copied to the here. But when you are starting time, we don't have the data here in the data folder, nothing will be copied to the here. So HANA won't start. Your HANA database, it won't start. So that is the reason. That is the reason. So what we have to do? So automatically system will copies the data from main storage to, so in the OS level delta storage, it will copies the data, right? So delta storage to main storage, from here to here, the data will be copied here. Here to here, the data will be copied here. So this mechanism will happen every 5 minutes once to ensure the, again when you are starting the HANA database, so we should have the all the data should be copied to the here. Why? Because when you are stopping the HANA database, whatever the data in the RAM memory, all the data will be flushed out, which means it will be cleaned up, it will come to zero. So then when you are starting the HANA database, it will take some time. I hope you observed, when you are starting the HANA database, it will not start immediately. Why? Because it will not start immediately, because so there is a data will be loaded to the main memory. That is the reason here. You see here almost like 9:42, I think 9:47 now. I think now you should get the one more save points to occur. What time? Maybe 9:45, 7. So there should be a one more save point should occur every 5 minutes once. So one more save point happened. You see, so 19:32, one more save point has been occurred. Got it? So every 5 minutes save point will occur. So that, so if any data something is happened during this 5 minutes time, we can recover the database up to 9:47. We can recover it. So without any data loss, zero loss, we can recover the database, right? That's what we can happen here. So now you can see free-g. If you type it, what is the used memory? 8 GB HANA used memory. 8 GB data is used here, right? So now what will happen when you stop the HANA database, right? If just see here, HDB stop, right? When the HDB stop will do, what will happen here? Whatever the data, now stopping the HANA database, what will happen now? Whatever the data is there here, all the data will be moved to the data folder level. Now the main memory, RAM memory becomes to the zero. Means the 8 GB means there is a 8 GB of data storing into the 8 GB of data storing into the, so 8 GB of data HANA residing, 8 GB of data storing into the HANA, right? HANA data means tables, data, whatever it may be, it is storing into the database level, in the RAM memory level, it is storing the data, right? So now you are stopping. You are stopping means there is issue or you are stopping. What will happen? All the data will come to data folder level. So means this will become 0 main memory. Why? Because RAM is the volatile memory. We cannot always trust the RAM. Why? Because RAMs are the temporary storage area only. When you restart it, all the data gone. Terabytes of data will be deleted from. So database RAM, the data from data, terabytes data will be deleted from the physical RAMs. So once it is stopped, then that time you can see it here. What will happen here, right? That time what will happen? Your you can also observe there is a unloads will happen. So now there is no connection possible. Why? Because we are stopping the HANA database. The connections are not possible. So that's fine. So, but we can observe the unloads means it will unload the data from main memory to the disk level. It will unload the data here. That we can see it here. Let me show you. Hmm, sorry. It's not the HDB, say ECQ area.
Ravi, when you're giving the tile -1000 F, sometimes you're giving tile -100 I. What is the difference between F and I?
Tail means last 200 lines, last 10 lines you are tailing. And instead of you are weaving the all the lines in the file, tail means last 100 lines you are weaving. Head, if you use the head, headlines, head means header, then so 100 lines and 5 lines means only top 100 lines you are weaving. Tail means last 100 lines you are weaving. So that is the one.
No,
Lines.
no, you are using F also. What is that
F
F?
means it's continuously it will write that means the latest logs also it will be written. That is common. If you want to write it, you can do that one. Otherwise, you can ignore that one. So let me show you here. So see here free-g, which means it's 0. It's become a 0 here. Now previously it's a 8 GB. Then after the HANA stopped, it comes to the 0 or 1 GB, right? There is a one more processor active. That's why it's showing the, so one more DB or something is active. That's why it's showing. So this process. So means why, what happened? This 8 GB of data in the RAM memory. Used memory is the 8 GB. When you stop the HANA database, all the data got deleted from the RAM memory, right? So all the data got deleted from the RAM memory here, right? So now what will happen here? So let me, so now what's happening here, right? So here, so you can see here tail command. Tail means last 10 lines, okay? Tail hyphen last 10 lines. F means the latest log also it will be continuously, it will write it. If you don't take F means it will write whatever the current line, it will show only that line as well. That's it. But I want the latest logs also. Latest log means the upcoming which are going to write logs also. In that case, just you can type F after that, then it will continuously write the logs as well. Now listener is stopped. Then new log also will return into the here. That's why we will use the F force. Okay, that is the difference. So now all the data got deleted from the RAM memory. You can see it here. What's happened? There is a loads, unloads. I will happen. Unloads means it will unload the data. It will unload the data from. It will unload the data from main memory to and disk level. It will unload it. It will unload it. This is the tables. This is the table. This is the table. This is the table. This is the tables. So all the tables data will be unloaded. Unloaded means It will not stay in the main memory level. Why? Because you have stopped HANA database. So in that case, what we can do, right? In this case, what we can do here. So now when you start the HANA database, let me start the HANA database again here. Okay. Let me start HANA. HDB. Now what is the memory here? Free-G. So here the 1 GB used. That is fine. HDB space start. Now you are starting the HANA database. When you are starting the HANA database, what will happen here? You see here, immediately we will check the logs here. We go to the index server trace file here. All the data will be reloaded from from data folder to disk layer. Will be reloaded from data to again main memory level. It will be reloaded. It will be reload. This will be reload when you are starting the HANA database. That is the reason when you are starting the HANA database, immediately it won't start. So it will take some time. It will take some time to start the database. Why? Because during this procedure, whatever the data you loaded, whatever the you are starting the HANA database is not started immediately. This is the normal behavior of the HANA system. This is the normal behavior of the HANA system where it won't start immediately. So here one order wise, one process wise, it will started here. So what is the order? Why? Because all the data it should load to the main memory first. So when you are starting the HANA database, what will happen? The first row store tables or system tables loaded, row store tables loaded. Then secondary indexes will be created if any. So then column store tables will be loaded. Then the fourth one, the roll forward will happen. Then rollback will happen here. These are the 5 statements. Those are the 5 executions will happen when you are starting the HANA database. So it will take some time. Why? Because the first of all, row store tables will be loaded. Then column store tables will be loaded. So that will happen here. Row store tables and column store tables all will be happen in the systems here. All will be happen in the system. That's why HANA database, it won't start immediately. It won't start it here. We can check the logs here. Index server logs here. Then so index server log files. So all the log files we can see it here. So how much time? So it will be initiated. So all the information we can track it here. When you are starting the HANA database, everything will be recorded in this case here. Everything will be recorded here. Everything will be recorded in this case here, right? So there is a loads, right? This load table will be updated, which means tables will be whatever the unloads are happened, this will be loaded. This will be loaded here. It will be loaded to the main memory. It will load it here. All the things will be loaded here. That will happen in the systems here. That will happen in the systems here, right? So when you are starting the HANA database, this will happen. Now still starting mode because of data is loading. Data is loading here. Data is loading to the main memory here. Data is loading to the main memory here. That's what will happen here. So here first row store tables, system internal tables will be loaded from the data folder to here. Then secondary indexes, that is the common. Then column store tables are the business tables. Business tables here. These tables will be loaded. Then roll forward. Roll forward means if any transaction committed but not stored into the data folder level, what will happen? So that will go and forward and will save the data into the roll forward during the save point time. Rollback means the transaction is not committed, not completed, but you have selected the seat In the irctc.com, you selected the seat. Then when you going to the payment, immediately system got down or some transaction, some power issue, network issue, your transaction not happened, not committed, then your transaction will go back to the roll back to the previous status. Previous status means again unbooked status. Your seat is unbooked status only. Roll forward means you completed the transaction, you booked the ticket, you booked the ticket, you selected the ticket, you done the payment successfully, then when you are getting the commitment is done, when you are getting the transaction successful status, you got the some timeouts or you got some network issue, you got something, you are not sure whether your transaction, your amount got deducted, but not sure what happened, then the transaction will go forward, and after some time you will get the ticket to the email, your transaction got successfully completed, your ticket has been booked, something like that. So like that you will get it out. Why? Because committed, when you are giving the final confirmation, it got closed. That time it will give the roll forward and roll back statements will happen. So that is the procedure will happen in the database level. So when the roll forward and the roll back statements here, right? So that will happen in the systems. That will happen in the systems here, right? So we can also suppose sometimes what happens, your transports or something moved to the database level, but it's not showing in the table level, or because actual committed data is available, it's not showing here, which means the delta merge is happening. The delta merge is not happening here. In that case, what we can do, we can also manually, system will perform the merge. There are the types of merges are there: smart merge, hard merge, force merge. So merges are there. So system internally will perform that merge, that is called the smart merge. If the smart merge is happening, then we can perform the hard merge, means manual merge, we can perform it here. So to perform the manual merge in the system, so what we have to do, we need to go to the table level, which table level that is happening. Then the tables are available under the catalog. So in the HANA Studio, why? Because the merge will be performed at a table level. Table level, the data will be performed, the merge will happen, right? So in case of the merge is not happening here, so we can also manually perform it. We have the option. So just we can go to the here, suppose like table, suppose like select the table, which table. So in the tables are available under the catalog. Under the catalog, so you have the schema. Under the catalog, you have the schema. Under the catalog, we have the schema. Under the schema, okay, suppose take any one of the schema. So schema means owner of the tables. These all are the schemas. Under the schema only we have the tables, right? Where the tables are available under the schema, where the schemas are available under the catalog. So catalog, these all are the schemas. Under the schema, we have the tables. So we have our business data stores in this table only. Our business data stores under this tables only here. Our business data stores under this tables only, right? So the developer knows, suppose like if it is the banking customer, you are the banking server database you are supporting. So there is some custom tables, Z underscore or Z credit card, Z debit card, Z sales. So something like that, they will create their own naming convention. Some tables they will create it there. All the our credit card data, credits, amount, debit, CIBIL. So all the data will be stored in the tables level, right? So in case of you done the payment, but the payment is not reflecting into the your system, your account. So in that case, what we can do, so we can, what we can do here, we can manually also do that one. We can manually also merge it by using the tables. Right click on the tables, we can do that one. That option we can perform it. That is the So manual merge and delta merge, we can perform it. So if you go to schema, catalog, schema, tables, so the tables list will be displayed. So size is very huge. The tables layer, lakhs of tables are there in the database level. So here we can check the details of the. So see here. So we can right click. So not the right click here. These all are the system internal tables. Just check is there any other column store tables. These all are the tables only. These all are the tables only here. So otherwise we can create one table also. Right click, create the new table.
Ravi, how many schema users will be there?
That is
Normally,
depends. Maybe it's but one SAP system only one schema user. But you want to in the same database you want to store one more SAP system. You want to create more schemas. That is also possible.
what is the exact role of the schema?
Schema is the owner of the table. So like each team in the company, we have the n number of teams are there. So if you don't have the, so each team there is a representative of the one manager. So that manager will manage the all the employees. Your employees are the tables. So and your manager is the schema. Schema means normally we will call it as the owner of the your team is called the manager, right? So what this manager will do, he will manage the all the your employees. Means basis lead, basis manager means all the basis employees under this manager only. So like that. So schema means the owner of the tables here. Suppose if we want to fetch the data of this means grouping of the table, groupings. Like if you have lakhs of tables under the one bucket, all the tables under the one bucket, then it's very hard to find out. So all the tables and everything. But if you have the if you know the respective schema under the table name is directly you can go to the schema and that schema you have the list of tables you can find out the relevant employee, right? So that is the one thing here. That is the reason we have the schemas concept in the database level. Not only this database, any database, SQL Server, Oracle, Sybase, DB2, MaxDB, HANA, we have the schemas concept. The schema is a owner of the table, which means if you want to fetch the data from this table or if you want to insert the data application up, you have to take the permission from the schema. You have to take the permission of the schema here, right? So on the respective schema, we can create the tables. So name, about like training table, I am creating training table, employee name, so number, all the information I am creating here. So
So, so sorry for interrupting. We can consider that schema will manage and organize the data in the database. Can we?
yes. Owner means he will do the all the rights of the tables and everything here.
Okay, okay.
Yes, something is wrong. Daemon is not running. See here. Yeah, definitely daemon is not running. So there is a OS upgrade is running. Yeah, that's why daemon is went down. But system DB is up. That's fine. So now we are creating a one table we created. So Z training table we created here. Z training table we are creating here. So once the table created, so we can also insert the data or you can write the program application level. All my training employees data should be stored in this table so that their name, number, phone number, email ID, addresses, some more fields I can create it. So in the lifelong, all the employees data, I can store it, batches data, I can store in this table level, I can store it here. In this table level, I can store it here. So that uh, suppose I have new batch started, I am entering from my SAP application to I'm entering the some of the employees data. but it's not reflecting in the table level. So, what's happening? The merge is not happening. User you created, but it's not showing in the table level. So the merge is not happening here. That then only if the merge is happening, the delta merge is happening, then only the data will move from delta merge to main storage. Then it will come to the data. It's not happening. Changes are not reflected. Still, the employee information is not showing in the reporting purpose, reporting tools. There is a Power BI reporting tool, SAC, Analytics Cloud, my AI tools unable to pull. Why? Because all these tools will pull the data from the database level tables. So the employee, I want to know how many employees are there, how many paid, how many not cleared. So I want to know all the details, but the changes are not reflecting. But I know some information, they are paid the pay, everything should be zero, but it's not showing some of the employees. So it's not showing. Then in that case, what I can do, so merge is not happening. Then changes are not reflecting. Then right click on the table, which table? Then what I can do, I can perform the manual merge. We can perform it so that the changes will be reflected. The changes will happen. That will happens. That will happens in the database level. That will happen here. So that is possible here. That is possible. You see, previously 1 GB, now it's 5 GB, which means some data inserted, some data got inserted into the table level. So in the main memory level, it got reloaded again. Data got reloaded again in the table level. So that's what happened in the systems here, right? So that is what here it's happened, right?
Sir,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt. Can't we perform the manual merge for all the tables?
All the tables at a time not possible. Only one by one we have to.
No, all the tables means column store and row store
Now
both.
only column store tables we have to perform it. Row store tables, there is no data, right?
Yeah.
Ana store the data in the columnar way. All the business tables are in the columnar way. So only column store tables we have the data. Row store tables we don't have any. So only configuration. For configuration tables there is no, so nothing will, because there is no business data in the configuration tables, system tables. So no need to perform the merging. Only column store tables we have to perform the merge.
How can we identify whether the
Here you
table
can
is?
see the symbol you can see here, rows are there in the, what is that called, the horizontally, vertically. By seeing this one, this table symbol, so this is a column store table, this is a row store tables, like that you can observe it. So here see, you can see vertical, horizontal rows are there. Here only vertical or something, like there is a slight difference between these two tables. So you can see my cursor I am pointing here, so that this is a column store. And also only column store tables, you will get the options like perform the delta merge. So load, unload, these options you will get. Only column store tables, you will get all those things.
Sir, if table is full, if a lot of data, then we need to
Partitioning. There is
partition. We
option,
need to
yeah,
do also.
right. There is a next
Will explain
concept,
partition.
partitioning. So partitioning is my, like, suppose like, okay, 1 or 2 months data, my training data, okay. But last years onwards, I'm maintaining my training data in the same table. The table size is very huge. So would monthly like 40 training users, then 12 months. So there is a lot of data. That in years wise, there's a lot of data. So applications also will take some time to take the load from the tables, right? But because if the data size is very huge, suppose from the small bucket, you can just to pull the some item, you pull the some item from small bucket. If it's a big bucket, it will take some time. If it's the big tub, then it will take a lot of time to pull the data, right? Why? Because lot of water is there in the tub, so it's not very easy to pull the some pin or some object from the water, right? So but the small glass or water, some glass water, some in the from some small glass of water, you can pull the data easily. The water means your data. The water is very huge water. The tons of water, tons of data is there. Then how can you pull the data? It's very slow. It will be slow, right? So in that case, what we can do the partitioning. Means some data we can move to the some other partitions. We can move it. So same table, it will create as a partitions. Suppose like your house is 150 square yards, how you are partitioning to the master bedroom, small bedroom, how you are partitioning. House is only one, but you are partitioning like a 2, 3 partitioning. Something is required from your house, directly you will go to, like it's there in the master bedroom, directly you will jump into the master bedroom, you will pull the data from the master bedroom, right? So entire house, your data is there, means where you will search, it will take a lot of time, whether it's in the kitchen or master bedroom. If you don't have partitioning, it will take a lot of time. So that purpose, we have the partitioning concept in the HANA database. So that is also our next class is the partitioning. So this still doing the kernel OS upgrade is running. So this is where we can do the partitions of the means we can check the delta merge, what will happen during the starting time, so during the startup time. So this is about the delta merge, save point interval, and so where can we can also forcefully merge it. So there is a right click on this table, so then we can see the otherwise let me connect to the other database. Not studio, not respond. So go to the here, suppose like take the any one of the schema, then table. So right click and you can create it. You can create the table here. Suppose like so jet trainings, something like that. I am creating some fields I am giving, so like the name, phone number, etc. Then save the data. Okay, it has been saved. It has been saved here. So which means so my training data is here, right? That training table. See here, this table is different. See here, this table is different. You will get the perform the delta merge, which means this merges the committed entries from the DS to MS. Okay, you want to perform yes. So if any changes are not happening, not reflect, so you can just manually perform the delta merge. Suppose in case of, so you don't want to, this table should be load into the main memory. I want to unload this table from the main memory. Just you can unload. When you are unloading this table from main memory to delta store, so then next time when you are accessing this data, it will be so very slow. Why? Because it has to be loaded memory first and everything might take some time, right? Why? Because you are unloading, which means it is staying into the, so your data folder level only, not in the main memory level here. If you want this table to be fast, then load into the main memory. Then the table will be loaded into the main memory. It will be very fast, right? Accessing the data from main memory is faster than 1 lakh times faster than disk, right? So then if you want, I don't want this table should be loaded to the main memory, I want to minimize the license, then we can unload. You can unload the data. So that is possible here. So that is possible here. That's we can do it here, right? So this is the way we can load, unload the tables and everything here. You see here, it is started. So when you are starting here, you can see, let me show you db underscore. So there is a loads, unloads, there is a blocks will be generated. So when loading, so tables, the change tracking configuration, related statements, related all the tables, these all are the tables, kit, there is all the tables will be loading into the main memory level. So that will happen in the systems. So when you are stopping, that will be unloaded. Now you see the main memory is the 33 GB used here. Oh my God. If you stop it here, what will happen? It will become to the 0. See, I'm stopping the HANA database now. The used size is the 33 GB. Means HANA, that there is a 33 GB data, HANA data is there in the main memory level, right? So now I'm stopping. Let's see what will happen. All the binaries are getting upgraded. Icon binaries, OS level binaries.
Sir, main memory level means RAM level only.
RAM
That-
level, main memory is called the RAM memory. So it is stopped. Let's see what.
Sir, in which scenarios we have to perform this delta
Yeah.
merge, sir?
See here, yeah, used memory is the 33 GB. When I stopped the HANA database, now it become 7 GB here, which means HANA stopped status means all the data got so reloaded from the main memory. So which means in case of changes are not reflecting, that time we will do manually. So
Do we need any approval, sir, or directly we can perform?
that is depends upon the our rapport with our manager. So okay, if we need to, in order to fix the issue, if you want to perform, you can perform it. So then we can perform it. Nothing will happen delta merge. Actually, system will perform. In case of even the changes are last try option, we can perform the delta merge option. We can perform it.